Klingons are back, and one gallant warrior must stand with them or against them.
Welcome back to my ranking Star Trek Deep Space Nine with Tiermaker.com. We're in Season 4 right now. Many fans consider Season 4 to be where the show really takes off. Sisko shaved his head, he has his beard, he's a total badass now. We got Worf on the show. The show's really taking off, although there is a part of me that prefers the earlier seasons because Season 4 is where the Dominion War and all like the war stuff starts happening in DS9 and it gets more and more complicated. And then by the end of the show, I'm like, yeah, I kind of do miss the simplicity of the earlier seasons.
Alamarine, count to 4. Alamarine, then 3 more.
But that being said, Season 4 is very good, so let's dive right into DS9 Season 4. Way of the Warrior, excellent episode. We got the introduction of Worf into the show. We have a nice Klingon story going on. DS9 did really well by their Klingon stories. Got Gowron. Gowron's always great to see.
And this, we do not forgive or forget.
We got some Klingon intrigue going on. There's some great action sequences. We got some snark between Dukat and Garrick.
Just remember, when you fire that thing, you're aiming it at a Klingon.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
The episode's really great. It's clearly an S-tier episode. There's a part of me that prefers Homecoming, The Circle, and The Siege over Way of the Warrior. I think I'll put Way of the Warrior with Second Skin. Oh, everybody's gonna hate where I'm gonna end up putting The Visitor. Don't get me wrong, it is a good episode. I see why people love the episode. It's got a lot of great ingredients for a great episode. I mean, it's got Tony Todd. It's got a great Avery Brooks performance. Tony Todd is really good in the episode.
Let go, Jake. If not for yourself, then for me. You still have time to make a better life for yourself.
The score for it is great. It's properly emotional. What kills it for me is the ending. I really hate that Jake Sisko was long-term poisoning himself in order to snap the timeline back. Granted, it was to save Ben's life, or whatever the hell he was doing. He was kind of stuck in, I guess, Star Trek limbo. But yeah, I really hated that detail of the ending. The final shot is excellent. I do like that hug between father and son, but yeah, the ending of The Visitor just kind of kills it for me. So I think I'm gonna end up putting it in B tier.
Jake, no!
I'll call it better than Destiny. If somebody's gonna get upset, like, oh, you think Tribunal's a better episode? And the thing is, I'm probably more okay watching Tribunal than The Visitor. Even though, like I said, if it wasn't for that ending, The Visitor would be probably an A-tier episode for me. Maybe even, like, S-tier. But it's definitely not one of those episodes where I'm like, I don't get why people like this. It's so overrated. No, I can acknowledge it's a really good episode. I'm just not a big fan of it. Hypocratic Oath. That is a Julian and Miles episode where they're kidnapped by the Jem'Hadar and the lead Jem'Hadar wants Julian to develop a cure for Ketracel White so they're not dependent on it. Yeah, it's okay, but I don't remember a whole bunch about it. I remember like bits and pieces of it, but I know I've seen it a couple of times, but that's about all I can really say about it. Probably a B tier episode for me as well. I'll call it better than Past Tense. Indiscretion. DS9 does The Searchers, basically. Kira and Dukat investigate a shipwreck. It turns out Dukat has an illegitimate daughter that's being held prisoner by the Breen. He was actually gonna try to rub her out, if you know what I mean. But Kira stops him and he ends up taking his daughter home. We do get that scene where Dukat sits on the spike and Kira has to pull it out.
Ah!
What is it?
Oh, I don't know. I sat on something. No!
We do get the introduction of Zial, and Zial was such a great character. I wish she was on the show more because she was just such a lovely person. I'm gonna go ahead and call that an A-tier episode. It's really good. I'm gonna call it better than The Search. It's a solid episode. Rejoined. I kind of feel the same thing about Rejoined as I do with TNG's The Outcast. Basically, it was edgy for its time, but now it's not so edgy, and it just ends up being kind of a mediocre episode, in my opinion. So, I think it's gonna end up being a C-tier episode for me, because, like, I almost always skip it. I think I'm gonna put it under Q list. Starship Down is a good episode. The Defiant is disabled, there's, like, multiple people stuck in different parts of the ship. You got some great Julian and Jadzia shipping moments, like, oh, be still my shipping heart. Kira's trying to keep Sisko from falling into unconsciousness because he's got a head injury, and she's telling him stories to keep his attention going.
Tell me a story.
All right.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
It's probably a low A-tier episode for me, but I think I'll put it underneath Shadowplay. It is a good episode. Little Green Men, I love this episode. Quark, Ram, and Nog end up traveling back in time to Area 51, and they're trying to get back home, and also Odo tagged along. You got Murdoch from Rambo 2 in there as a general.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
DS9 did very well by their Ferengi characters. I'm gonna go ahead and call that an S-tier episode. It's probably a little bit better. Well, I don't want to say better than Family Business, because Moogie is pretty lovely. I'll put it right underneath Family Business. The Sword of Kahless is an episode I should enjoy, but I'm pretty lukewarm about it. Which is kind of weird because I love Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and this is basically the same thing. Although I think it was technically based off of, what is that, the Treasure of Sierra Madre? It is great to see John Colicos back, I will give it that, but yeah, most of the episode is just Worf and Korb arguing with each other and Jadzia's stuck in the middle. It could have been a really great episode in my opinion, but I'm pretty lukewarm on it, to be honest. I'll probably call it a B-tier episode, but probably on the lower end of B-tier. It's probably better than Defiant, so I'll give it that. It's better than Defiant. Aman Basher. I have not seen a James Bond film. I have played James Bond games, but I have not seen a James Bond film. And also, you know, the various parodies on, like, The Simpsons or whatever else has parodied James Bond out there. I'm sure I recognize a lot of the tropes. But yeah, I imagine if you're a big James Bond fan, Aman Basher is a really great episode that's, you know, really fun to watch. And even if you haven't seen James Bond movies and are me and just played the video games, it's still pretty fun. I imagine once I actually sit down and watch a Bond film, my appreciation of it will be heightened, but yeah, for right now, it's probably a high B-tier episode, I would say. I'll say it's better than Destiny. Homefront and Paradise Lost, which I am gonna group together. Basically, Changelings infiltrated Earth, everybody's super paranoid. We have yet another example of why blood tests aren't very effective. Like I said, you want to test for Changelings. That's great. Don't do blood tests. Do the booger test. Everyone, pick a booger, put it on the table. Find me a changeling that's willing to carry around pounds and pounds of boogers just to pass off as a solid. I'm willing to bet they're not willing to do that. It's a good two-parter. I probably enjoy other two-parters more than this two-parter, but it's still pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a low A-tier episode. Probably better than Starship Down. Crossfire. Shakar could have been such a good character. This is the episode that brought Shakar and Kira together as a romantic couple. And we have Odo pining for Kira the entire time, and she's just so oblivious, like, girl, how do you not see these things? But yeah, it kind of ruined Shakar as a character. I preferred him in his first episode, where he's kind of more of a rough and tumble guy, and he was like the resistance leader, and here he's just a really timid politician, and yeah, I don't get what Kira sees in him. He's not that great looking either. Not to mention, he was also Ronan, the Candle Ghost boyfriend that Beverly dated, who also dated her 100-year-old grandmother. What was Sub Rosa? We do get some good acting moments from Rene Auberjonois as Odo, but it's not enough to carry the episode that high on my tier list. I'm gonna go ahead and call this a low B tier episode. It's not terrible, but it's not the greatest. I mean, it's probably better than Sword of Kalis. It probably could have been a lot better if they didn't ruin Shakar. Let's see, Return to Grace. We have Dukat and Kira teaming up again. We get more Zial. There's Dukat's private little war with the Klingons going on. It's an alright episode, but I feel like I don't remember a whole bunch about the episode. I mean, I remember Dukat hitting on Kira and kind of being a little bit of a creeper on her, but because he's got that charisma and he's played by Mark Alaimo, it's kind of mildly entertaining. I mean, if anybody else played Dukat, he would just be a creeper, but because he's played by Mark Alaimo with that charisma and swagger, he's just entertaining to watch. Yeah, Mark Alaimo did very well by Dukat. But where am I putting Return to Grace? I feel like that's a high B tier episode. I'll say it's better than Tribunal. Oh, the Sons of Moog. We get a Kern episode, and the writers did wrong by Kern. He's depressed, he wants Worf to basically rub him out, if you know what I mean. And then he basically becomes a TSA agent. But yeah, they end up wiping his memory by the end of the episode and giving him a new identity, and you know, I like Kern a lot. Kern was a really good character in Next Gen, and I feel like DS9 did wrong by Kern, just wiping his memory away. It basically killed off the character without killing him off. And it's a shame too, because Tony Todd's always great in every Trek appearance he's made. But yeah, Sons of Moog, I mean, I can't call it a C tier episode. It's probably low B tier. I mean, I feel bad saying it's not as good as Sanctuary. It's probably better than The Abandoned, but no, you know what? Let's put The Abandoned above Sons of Moog, because again, they did Kern dirty in this episode. The Bar Association is a solid episode. It's another Ferengi episode, and DS9 did pretty well by their Ferengi episodes. Rom starts up a union, but unions are, I think they're kind of illegal on Ferenginar, and even though they're off planet, they're still bound by Ferenginar's rules. The Ferengi are striking, the Dabo girls are striking, Julian and Miles are getting into a fight with Worf over the strike and crossing picket lines.
Dr. Bashir was shoved over a table.
Now that was an accident.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it a high B tier episode. Let's call it better than Life Support. Yeah, let's do that. Accession. 2 emissaries enter the wormhole, only one comes out. Yeah, it turns out Sisko might not have been the emissary, that there was actually one hanging out with the prophets in the wormhole for like a couple thousand years. And then he comes back to Bajor and he starts changing up everything. Kai Wynn's got his back, which should have told you a whole lot right there. But yeah, it's another one of those episodes where I don't mind skipping it, but I don't think it deserves to be called a C tier episode. I'll probably call it a low B tier episode. Maybe better than Defiant. I'll put it there. I feel like that's a good spot to put it. I feel like I need to rewatch Rules of Engagement. I feel like I haven't seen that episode in a really long time. I remember it's a courtroom drama, and Sisko has some really great moments acting as basically Worf's lawyer. I'm still gonna rank it somewhere. I feel like it should be a B tier episode, but this may or may not change once I rewatch the episode. For right now, I'm gonna say it's better than The Forsaken for right now, but that is more than likely gonna change. Oh, Hard Time. That is a rough episode to get through. It is the ultimate O'Brien must suffer episode. He was trying to fix this alien's computer, and he went where he wasn't supposed to, so They punish him by planting 20 years of horrible prison memories in his brain. And then he has all the PTSD from that. There is a part where he's trying to order a piece of fruit that he ate in prison from the replicator. And he's trying to describe it to the replicator and it just doesn't get it. And it always reminds me of Principal Skinner in The Simpsons.
Piece of Chilesh fruit, please.
Replicator pattern for requested fruit is not available.
They came close to madness trying to find it here in the States, but they just can't get the spices right.
But, man, I do not like watching that episode. Quality-wise, it's probably not C tier, but I don't particularly like watching this episode. I mean, it's probably better than Q-less, because a lot of things are, but... man, that is a tough episode to get through. Shattered Mirror. It's probably the only Mirror Universe episode that I tolerate, at least in DS9. I suppose I do tolerate Mirror Mirror in the original series, but as far as DS9 Mirror episodes go, I tolerate Shattered Mirror. I'm still not a fan of it because it's still the Mirror Universe, but it's better than the other Mirror Universe episodes. So I'm gonna give this Mirror Universe episode the biggest compliment I can give a Mirror Universe episode. I am going to rank it above The Passenger. The Muse isn't a very good episode because its A-plot is kinda creepy. Basically, Meg Foster's a space vampire and she's going after young Jake Sisko. And it's very creepy and I don't like it. Jake's getting nosebleeds left and right. It's kinda creepy. The B-plot is the Waxana pregnancy plot, though, and I think that plot is the highlight of the episode. Waxana has some really sweet moments with Odo, and they're always kind of a joy to watch. Where Picard was always annoyed with Waxana, Odo kinda learned how to appreciate her, and those two are kinda sweet. Where am I putting the Muse? The Meg Foster plot kinda drags the story down. I think I'm gonna call it C tier. It's probably better than Move Along Home. And I put it above Move Along Home because the Waxana Odo moments are really sweet. And I don't mind watching those scenes, but yeah, it's Jake Sisko with the space vampire plot that really drags the episode down for me. For the Cause, we find out Cassidy Yates was working with the Maquis for a while, and Eddington, it turns out, was a mole for the Maquis. I mean, it's an alright episode. You do have some of that tension going between Sisko and Cassidy that works pretty well. I'd say that's probably a solid B tier episode for me. Not bad, but I don't really go out of my way to watch it. I'll probably call it better than Return to Grace. To the Death, we get Weyoun's first appearance, and they're basically going after Stargates. Alright, they're technically Iconian gateways, but let's be real, they're basically Stargates. I mean, it's okay, but it's not super high on my list of episodes. I don't mind watching it, but I don't mind skipping it either. We do get Weyoun in the episode, which is a plus, and even though they killed him off by the end of it, the writers came up with a way to keep bringing him back through cloning, so... hey, we could give props to the episode for giving us Weyoun, and Jeffrey Combs in, like, practically every role in Star Trek. I'll call it a B-tier episode, better than... Tribunal. Oh, the Quickening is really depressing. It's mostly Julian trying to cure this disease the Dominion unleashed on this planet that's killing off the local population. There is kind of a cute moment at the beginning of the episode where Quark hacked into all the monitors on the station in order to advertise his bar.
Come to Quark's Crush is fun. Come right now. Don't walk. Run!
And man, that does not prepare you for the episode you're about to witness. But yeah, for me, it's probably a C-tier episode just because it is kind of a downer. It's probably better than Distant Voices? No, I'll say it's better than Melora. Body parts. Kira is pregnant with Chief O'Brien's baby, and Quark sells his body on the open market. Wait, no, not like that. Not gonna lie, I made that joke in my 10 weird episodes of Star Trek video, which you should probably check out. I'd say Body Parts is mostly a Quark episode, and like I said, DS9 did very well by its Ferengi episodes, and this is an alright episode. Especially the ending where the station comes together to help support Quark after he loses his Ferengi business license.
And you thought you had no assets.
Cisco? Dax? Bashir? More?
That's a really sweet moment, but yeah, it's kind of a weird ride. I'm not gonna deny that. But I'd probably call this a solid B tier episode. I probably enjoy it a bit more than... Probably a bit more than For the Cause. Broken Link, the season finale, and a good lead-in into season 5. This is where Odo has to answer for killing another changeling at the end of season 3. He's suffering from a weird condition that the founders gave him, so he has to return home and answer for his crimes. And they punish him by turning him into a solid because that's what he's always wanted, right? It also ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger because they tease like, oh, maybe Gowron's been replaced by a changeling. And it leads into a very Klingon season premiere in the next season. So, not a bad episode. I'm gonna go ahead and call it an A tier episode. It's probably better than Explorers. Let's go with that. Alright, so that's season 4. And if you take a look, there's really not a whole bunch of episodes in C, D, and F tiers. Most of the episodes are B tier and above. DS9 really is a pretty good quality show. There's even a lot of episodes where maybe I'm lukewarm on them, but I still rank them in B tier. Especially with season 4, I didn't really put a whole bunch of episodes in the lower tiers. It basically stayed above B tier. And I know a lot of people won't agree where I put The Visitor, but again, it would have been an A tier episode, except the ending kinda ruined it for me. But everything else, yeah, I feel pretty alright about. We're well underway to seeing some really good episodes in the show, so stay tuned for next time for season 5 and we'll see even more of them. As always, thanks for tuning in to another DS9 Tiermaker video. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends! Until next time...
I'm gonna go get us some tea.